In March 2024, Homeland Security and the FBI executed simultaneous raids on the luxury estates of Sean "Diddy" Combs. The operations targeted two massive properties, one in the Holmby Hills neighborhood of Los Angeles and another on Star Island in Miami. During the search for evidence related to sex trafficking, agents recovered an arsenal. They found 9 AR-15 assault rifles inside the homes. 3 of these weapons were illegally modified. Federal investigators discovered that the serial numbers had been deliberately ground down and erased. The second cache agents cataloged alongside the weapons was a collection of over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricant. Federal investigators were documenting a militarized arsenal and massive quantities of contraband. Yet, public attention immediately shifted toward an unverified internet rumor. The focus of this digital obsession was a secret underground tunnel, allegedly located beneath the Los Angeles mansion. Viral posts claimed this passage was part of a celebrity network, alleging it connected Diddy's property to the former home of pop star Michael Jackson or the Playboy Mansion. This theory gained traction after a fabricated news graphic began circulating. It featured a fake CNN banner claiming investigators discovered children's clothing inside the tunnels. That image was a digital fabrication, but for weeks, this fiction dominated the conversation, replacing the specific details of the federal investigation with a more sensationalized narrative. Reuters confirmed that no secret network existed. The passage was actually an underwater swimming tunnel that connected the main pool to a man-made grotto. Real estate listings for the property had publicly advertised this feature for years. It was an architectural luxury, not a hidden exit. The actual evidence seized, specifically the 1,000 bottles of baby oil, pointed to events the federal indictment called freak-offs. Prosecutors described these as multi-day, drug-fueled events where victims were coerced and forced to perform sexual acts for the cameras. The grotto was a high-end design choice, but the activity described in the federal indictment involved a system of physical and sexual exploitation. This legal crisis began in late 2023 when Cassie Ventura, known as Cassie, filed a civil lawsuit. She alleged years of physical and sexual abuse during her relationship with Combs. In 2024, CNN released hotel security footage from 2016. The video showed Combs physically assaulting Ventura in a hallway, matching several details from her lawsuit. After this footage became public, over 50 additional witnesses and victims contacted investigators with corroborating testimonies. This diagram illustrates the racketeering conspiracy charge brought in September 2024. Prosecutors alleged Combs used his music empire as a criminal enterprise to transport victims, procure drugs, and maintain control. The indictment described a system of intimidation that spanned decades. The public release of the hotel footage challenged a defense strategy that had successfully avoided criminal charges since the early 2000s. The federal trial began in May 2025. Over 2 months, prosecutors presented evidence that carried a potential sentence of life in prison. Outside, hundreds of reporters and photographers maintained a constant presence, documenting a level of public interest that pressured the jury to separate evidence from the media narrative. In July 2025, the jury returned a split verdict. They found Combs not guilty on the 2 primary charges, racketeering conspiracy and sex trafficking. However, they found him guilty on 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution across state lines. The jury's decision rested strictly on the specific legal statutes the government could prove. This methodical application of law resulted in a conviction on the transport charges, rather than the broader racketeering allegations. In October 2025, the judge sentenced Combs to 50 months in federal prison and a $500,000 fine. During the sentencing, the judge noted that the coercion involved was identical to any other sexual crime, regardless of the wealth Combs used to facilitate it. Combs apologized for his actions in court, describing them as shameful, but his legal team has since filed an appeal against the 2 convictions. The Diddy investigation demonstrates the power of a viral distraction. While the internet searched for secret tunnels, the actual evidence of abuse was being documented in a federal courtroom, proving that systemic exploitation can exist in plain sight.